Okay, so I've been trying to do this for at the very least a couple weeks now, and I've been going over in my head how I want to do it. I recorded 2 versions of this video yesterday, but I decided not to go with those because they didn't feel right, and this is the last time. This is the last one. Look at me. This is the last one. This is the last one. After this recording, I am not doing it anymore. I am posting whatever I say here. So, welcome to Brainstorm Pictures. Now, I want to talk about indie animation on YouTube. It's been blowing up, to say the very least, and I've decided I want to throw my hat in the ring. Throw my hat in the pile? Towel? Throw in the... I want in. I want in. Me want in. So, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to talk about my idea briefly, and I'm going to touch on the 6 main characters. So, welcome to Fearsome Freaks. I'm going to start with just a rough overview of the show. Fearsome Freaks is about a group of 6 circus freaks. Ray, Rosie, Craig, Lester, Pauly, Daisy. They split their time between working for the Fearsome Freak Show, which is this kind of circus thing. It's a story for another time. And this is what season 1 is mainly focused on. Their work as secret agents for a secret shadow government known as the Clandestine Organization Veiling and Eliminating Risks to United Prosperity. Or cover up. Muy bien. That's what most of season 1 is about. Just the freaks going around and dealing with different alionic beings, or alionics, whatever you want to call them, that cover up has informed them of. What is an alionic being? It's a cryptid. That's really all you need to know right now. With that out of the way, let's talk about the freaks now. Ray hates himself. If you know anything about Ray, let it be that. He hates himself more than anything in the world. Why? It could have something to do with the fact that he is essentially Man-Bat. Ramon Cielo Oscuro was a virologist who, in an attempt to create a cure for post-symptomatic rabies, transformed himself into this bat-like humanoid known as the Laredo Devil. He terrorized Laredo, Texas for a little bit, till the freaks eventually picked him up in, I want to say 35? I'll put it up on the screen. I might be wrong. He's been with them ever since. He loves them, but he doesn't feel like he should. He doesn't feel like he deserves to be happy. He doesn't feel like the world wants him to be happy. He feels like he should just be alone for the rest of his life, which is why he hates the fact that he's finding a family again. He hates that he's in love with Rosie. He hates that he sees Craig as his son. He hates that he finds this kind of kinship with Daisy. He hates it. But at the same time, it's human nature to love those things. So it causes a little bit of conflict with him where he's like, should I open myself up? Should I let myself be happy? Should I let, my life continue? Or should I just close myself off, close my barriers, and just keep them safe? Because, and I'm not going to get into, I'm not going to get into it too much, but things have happened to Ray in his past, and he does not want those things to happen again. And I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say about Ray. I don't think I do. So let's move on to Rosie. Rosie it's complicated because I want to call her the team mom, even though she's only really Craig's mom. I'd call her the glue that holds the team together. If you want to call her the team mom, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Rosie, like all of the freaks, has been through a lot of shit. Saved it. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Rosie is an incredibly skilled acrobat. She was born with an incredibly rare genetic disorder known as quadruple jointedness. There are twice as many joints in her body as a normal person. You'd think that'd be called double jointedness, but that's already a thing. And it doesn't actually mean that you have more joints. It's a whole thing. Point is, she's incredibly flexible. Like, almost uncannily. I don't know if that's a word. She's able to, like, contort herself into a cabinet, or, like, contort herself into, like, I know microwaves weren't that popular in 1939 to 1945. By the way, that's when this is set, 1939 to 1945. But she she could fit in a microwave. All of that aside, she's the glue of the team. Essentially, she's the leader. I imagine her as the Sue Storm. What Sue is to the Fantastic Four, Rosie is to the Fearsome Freaks. She is the glue that holds them together. She and Ray have this sort of thing going on, and she doesn't know what it is, neither does he. Lester and Pauly are like her brothers in her mind. Craig is her baby. Daisy, she wants to be friends with Daisy. Daisy does not want to be friends with her. I don't know what else I should reveal about Rosie. I will say she has a complex relationship. It's not really that complex. She hates the Fristol Bombs. She hates the Fristol Bombs so much. And I mean, I know at some point I'm gonna have to get into why, but man, not in the first video. Not in the first video, please. She hates the Fristol Bombs. She wants to get away from them more than anything, and she wants to take her family with her. She cares about them more than she cares about anything in the world, so she will happily lay down her own life if it means protecting any of the freaks. She's very noble in that respect, I guess. I'm kind of blanking on anything else to talk about with Rosie. She has these ribbons. That's like her main thing. That's how she fights. That's how she performs. She has these. I'm using one of my hands right now. She has these long ribbons. I'll throw up a picture. She can kind of swing with them. She can, like hit people with them like a whip. I go into it more in the slideshow, but link is in the description for, by the way, for a slideshow. I'll touch on more of that later. Let's talk about Craig now. So Craig doesn't know what he is. Nobody knows what Craig is, but even he doesn't know what he is. Craig believes, or at least he wants to believe, that he's just like his mommy and his daddy, but he knows deep down he's not. He's a baby. He's only one, but I mean, Rosie acts like his mom and like tells him that she is his mom and that Ray is his dad. His last name is Cielo Zazel. Or last names? I don't really know how that works. I'm sorry, I'm white. He essentially is, at the very least, Rosie's kid. Ray is conflicted about Craig because, he doesn't want to let anybody in, and he knows Craig deserves a father who can actually be a father, Craig doesn't really care. His daddy is his daddy, and he's just weird, and he has big wings, and he's fluffy, and that's it. But he doesn't know what he is. He's kind of just this amorphous blob, and I was gonna bring down the inspiration for Craig so I could hold it up. It's upstairs right now. So I'm just gonna throw up a picture on screen. I made this thing when I was maybe 7 or 8, and I put it inside of a Tupperware container, and I put a little thing on the top that says Craig. That is the inspiration behind this character. He doesn't know what he is. He wants desperately to fit in, but he's the only one like him that he knows. But he is a baby. He's a baby. But my thing was with Craig is that I didn't want to make a baby character. I didn't want to do a Baby Yoda. I didn't want to just create a character who was a baby simply for the marketability, because that's what Baby Yoda is now. He is not a character, and I wanted to attempt to make Craig a character and not just a baby. But enough of Craig, let's talk about Lester. Lester is the funny one. He is the chaotic, goofball little gremlin man. He has been through a lot of shit, but instead of just admitting that and admitting that that bothers him, he just doesn't. He just acts out like a crazy person, which I mean is not entirely his fault. He does suffer from an extremely rare mental disorder called, and I'm blanking on the name, even though I literally made it up, anelemania, I think is how it's pronounced. He suffers from anelemania. Right now, nobody knows how he got it, I mean, except for him. It both increases his physical, abilities, like he's able to do a bunch of acrobatic things and move at like a fast pace, and his reaction time is really good. But it also with his brain. Lester has been through a lot, and to cope with that, he's the prankster and the jester and the funny man and the little gremlin boy. And he pretends that none of the things he's been through bother him, but they do. And everybody knows that they do. But they're not really going to talk to him about it, especially Rosie and Pauly. They're not going to talk to him about it unless he comes to them, because both of them know what happens when you approach Lest with that kind of thing. He either brushes you off or he just kind of shuts off. He's very complicated, but I mean, they all are. But on that note, let's talk about Pauly. Pauly is the sweetest human being on the entire planet. He was raised in Talcott, West Virginia. He's the great grandson of John Henry. If you don't know who John Henry is, he was essentially this folk hero from here. I'm not going to explain John Henry. Go look it up. That I am not the person to be explaining John Henry. Pauly tries to live up to that name, the Henry name. He is the kindest person that you will ever meet, despite the fact that the world is not kind to him at all. He is a black man in the 1940s. The world is not kind to him in the slightest. But despite all of the hate he gets for the color of his skin, he will always, always, always be kind and compassionate and the shoulder that all of the rest of the freaks can cry on. He will always be there. He is their big brother, and he always will be. Even when certain members of the freaks don't want that. And I'll get to that certain member in a second, but first I want to touch on how Pauly is kind of affected by that. Because he is a sweetheart. He is a kind, gentle soul. Despite the fact that he's massive, he is a pacifist. He would not hurt a fly, literally, which is complicated when the freaks are sent to fight monsters on the daily, because he won't hurt them either. So that's a little bit of conflict there. And also, it's tough being the one that everybody can lean on, because you don't feel like you have anyone to lean on. And that's not so much a problem in season 1 of the show, but it might be eventually. Regardless, let's get into Daisy. Last one. Daisy Bell, I'm not going to give anything away about her backstory, but she is a border collie who can talk. She grew up on a farm, so she's got a country accent. That was terrible. I'm sorry. She hates everything, really. She's in the same boat as Ray in a lot of ways. Neither of them feel like they can really let anybody in. They feel more monstrous than the rest of them, if that makes sense. They don't feel like they belong in a different way than the rest of the freaks do. Especially Daisy, because she is, by all accounts, like a freak of nature. She is maybe the smartest living thing on the planet. She has every piece of human knowledge in her head. So, like, every story ever written, every equation ever solved, every hypothesis, every like historical event, everything. She is easily the smartest person in the room. But more often than not, the smartest person in the room is also the loneliest person in the room, is also the most isolated person in the room, is also the most alone in the room. Even when the freaks try to include her, she purposefully avoids them. She loves them. She loves the freaks with all her heart, but she cannot let them in for the same reason Ray doesn't want to let them in. She feels like she's already messed up before, and she doesn't want to mess up again. She'd rather be alone and miserable for the rest of her very short life than feel loved and feel accepted, but feel like a burden. She would rather be alone. Which brings me to, I have been working on this project by myself for coming up on a year now. And I don't know what else to do. I suck at drawing. I am the worst at drawing. But I know a lot of you can. A lot of you are also very autistic. A lot of you know how to draw and can draw incredibly well. Some of the stuff I've seen on YouTube alone has blown me away. And I need that kind of help. Not just with art. I need composers. I need researchers. I need, like, pretty much everything. Pretty much everything. I know that I can't do everything by myself. So, this is Fearsome Freaks. Right now, it's my project, but I want it to be our project. That's right, we're going communist up in this bitch. If you want to get involved with Fearsome Freaks in any way, please, please, please follow me on either Blue Sky or Twitter. This video will be up on there too, along with the slideshow that I already made. It'll be in the links in the description. Also, if you want to learn anything else, because I already have most of Season 1 planned out, I have most of the world already in my head, I have most of everything already planned out. So if you want to know more, please comment. Please just tell me what you want to see, because I know I want to make more videos about this. I'm going to make a lot more. A lot more. So if you want to see me talk about the Fristol bombs or Cover Up or Elionics or anything, the main villains for Season 1, let me know. Please. I would love nothing more than to talk about this stuff. I'm hoping, more than anything, that I can build a community from this, and that this can actually become something other than an idea in my head, or a bunch of ideas in my head. I don't know what I'm saying. Can you tell I'm new to this? It would mean the world to me if even one person decided to in any way help with this. It would mean the world. But I can't really think of anything else I want to say. So, Blue Sky, Twitter, my email will probably be down there too. The slideshow is down there if you want to learn more about our 6 incredible protagonists. I'm trying to remember anything else. I think that's it. I finally did the video. Oh my god. If you've made it this far, first, wow, you must really not have anything else to do today. And 2, I said first and then 2. I'm such an idiot. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Genuinely, it means the world to me. Comment what you want to see next. That's all I have for now. This has been a Brainstorm Pictures production. I hope to see you around.